I'm Tim Jotischky. I'm a senior consultant at PHA Media. Before joining PHA, I was a journalist for 25 years on national newspapers. I was editor of Metro, I was editor of the Scottish Daily Mail, deputy editor of the Sunday Telegraph, I was business editor of the Telegraph, and I was sports editor of the Daily Mail, among other things. I think there's two biggest stories that I can remember from my time in journalism. One was undoubtedly 9/11. I remember I was editor of Metro at the time. I was out of the office. I got a call from my deputy to say a plane had gone into the Twin Towers, and it was evident immediately what a huge story that was. And Metro, the paper, was only a couple of years old at the time. I remember sitting down with the editorial staff and saying, this undoubtedly is the biggest story you will ever work on in your careers, and let's make sure we do this story justice and we do it really well. The other story was the death of Princess Diana. I was foreign editor of the Daily Mail at the time, and I recall being in bed about 1 a.m. on a Sunday, getting a call that she had been in a car crash in Paris and injured. I got out of bed, I started making calls, getting reporters over to Paris, and then I thought maybe I'd get back to bed for a couple of hours because it was obviously going to be a busy day ahead. But about 4 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep, was lying in bed. I got a call from our diplomatic correspondent, Steve Doughty, who was with the then Foreign Secretary, Robin Cook, in the Far East. And Steve said, Tim, I know what you're hearing. I know you're hearing that Princess Diana has broken her arm. She's dead. I'm telling you she's dead. The Foreign Secretary has just told me she's dead. And I got out of bed and, of course, immediately started making more calls and preparations. And what was really chilling was I knew that she'd died, but the TV and radio were still reporting that she was injured. And then what happened the next week was astonishing. It was an unbelievable week. I think people often ask whether newspapers and the media influence people or are sometimes influenced by events. And this was certainly a case where we were influenced by events. The extraordinary outpouring of grief, of anger towards the royal family, it just took on a life of its own, and it became a very febrile situation and a story which you honestly didn't know where it was going.